it is what it is. Did you watch the Grammys?
I watched a couple clips. I did not I streamed, so I don't have I didn't pay for I think it was on YouTube. You had to pay a certain amount. I didn't do that. No, I
Okay.
watched a couple clips.
Okay, another question. Do you believe in the Grammys? Are you one of those? Do you still like the Golden Globe, the Oscars, the Grammys,
I don't
the
know what to
Tony?
think anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either. What did you think about Shaboozey?
I think he should have won a Grammy last year.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out why he didn't.
I think he got robbed last year.
Yeah.
But the singer Shaboozey, he received a lot of backlash after his Grammy speech. So he said, in air quotes, right? He basically said, he was speaking out against the whole ICE, everything that's going on.
Yeah, and he kind of tripped over his words.
And he tripped over his words and said, immigrants built this country. And a lot of people took it as a disregard to the work and the forced labor of Black Americans who are not really immigrants, because it's not like we immigrated over here. Like, you can't say we are immigrants when we were here before America was even incorporated. So we are we're the most American it's going to get.
Well, it's a lot.
Native Americans, Black Americans, and Native Americans are Americans,
right? And then a lot of Black Americans are also Native Americans. So it's like there's any way you slice it, we here and we've been here, and
we ain't going nowhere. We can't go nowhere.
And we've established the infrastructure of this country. I don't think he meant any harm by it, and I think the backlash behind it could have been done with more grace. Because it's like he was trying to say, like, we're all children of immigrants. That was like one part of his speech, and like immigrants built this country, and that's what I was gonna say. But this is what, have you ever been to Africa? I think I might have asked you.
No,
this before.
I've never been to Africa. No.
So I've been to Africa 3 times. I went to Egypt, I went to South Africa, and then I went to Kenya.
Wow.
And I will say this, the education gap between what Black Americans have faced, how we have triumphed, our story, they don't know it.
Yeah.
So it is hard when you get a DeVito, a Shaboozey,
Tyler.
Yes, they really, when I say they really don't know, like they know the same things that like white people know.
Propaganda. It's they know what's on TV.
Yes, they know. They're like Martin Luther King. Yeah.
Hey, my favorite is the video of the little white girl when it was like Martin Luther King Jr. and she was like, "Yeah, he died for our sins." I'm like, that's actually a fact.
I was about to say, she's not wrong.
Like, she's not wrong. Like, she died for y'all sins.
She and did. Yeah. And so, I think it could have been handled with a lot more grace. But I do think I understand what he's saying as somebody who is a child of probably immigrant parents and would not like his family to face anything that has been happening with some of these ICE agents. I think he was speaking personally, but not understanding the full scope. But I will say, I think it's our responsibility as Black people, whether it is Black people in North America, South America, or on a continent, I think it's our responsibility to communicate to each other.
Yeah, and I think the problem too is there's this big whole FBA, foundational Black American versus Nigerian or immigrant or any type of. It's like a big it's like a big divide even within the whole Black diaspora in the continent of Africa and then African Americans. So there we have our own issues, just like colorism and all of that. We have our own internal issues outside of all the oppression that we receive from other races. So
the only distinction that I think foundational Black Americans have is reparations, if that is ever going to happen. Outside,
it's not, but
exactly.
It's not.
So I'm like, if reparations is not going to happen, then I'm trying to figure out how helpful this conversation is.
It's not helpful.
To decipher, because at the end of the day, a police officer is not going to say, "You're Black, you're Nigerian. I'm gonna treat one better than the other."
Yeah, because I mean,
they're gonna say
we all look the same walking down the street.
You can have a Afro Brazilian, African American person, and a Kenyan person. You won't know who is who.
Yeah, especially white folks don't know the difference. I mean, your Black ass barely knows. So,
right, exactly.
So it's one of those situations to where, yes, he does deserve grace. Also, we assign intelligence, and we assign information and like thinking these people are hip to what we go through.
Yes.
And this is why I don't really like when celebrities and all that speak on political shit, is because they don't even be well read enough to understand the nuances and the differences between what foundational Black Americans and what immigrants go through. And we were just talking about this offline, that a lot of Black Americans, we don't have culture that we can relate to. A lot of immigrants have culture in their countries that they're coming from that they can come and bring and put on their kids. A lot of us, all the culture that we know is street culture, rap culture. That's what we think Black culture is like rap culture, street culture, and like stories about slavery and MLK and Martin Luther King and the Black Panthers. Like, we're so deeper than that. He damn sure don't know, because it's people, it's Black Americans walking around that don't know their history. So how are we going to expect
it is
him?
Black. Can you say it again? There's Black Americans walking around that do not know their history. So
to expect him, like you said, from Nigeria, entertainer, who is a Black man, to expect him to know your history more than you is kind of like expecting a lot. Like, you don't even know your history.
Just because you have a platform does not mean that you have the wherewithal to be able to have informed discussions.
Correct.
And so, he overstepped. He was out of his depth, as Don Lemon said about Nicki Minaj. He was a little out of his depth, but I do think it is one. I think it's a learning opportunity for him, and honestly, everybody else who.
I'm glad he didn't handle it like Tyler though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could have been bad, because I think there was a little bit. She was a little snooty, like
she had a little arrogance to her, like and then
like, we don't do that.
Yes, it was a little elitist, like I'm not one of them type of energy, and it was like, all right, we're gonna show you. Then people stop fucking with your music.
Yeah, I was about to say, we can show you better than we can tell you. But also, what I would really like to see happen is for us to take responsibility to speak to one another. And actually, I'm glad, and this is a bit of a tangent, then we can move on. I'm actually really glad that TikTok is being ruined by like the American owners and stuff. I am, because it is high time that Black creators, because we're not just creators, like, we're having important conversations and discussions, and we're finding like a common like thread. I want to see those Black entertainment creators, but I want to see them from the entire diaspora.
Yeah.
Like, I want a social media that is it's for everybody, but specifically for the African diaspora, so that whether you're in Nigeria, you want to know what's going on over there, you want to know what's going on in Brazil, you want to know what's going on in Dominican Republic or Haiti or stuff like that, like the Congo. So many things, we get bits and pieces of it, but we don't necessarily like, people didn't know what was going on in Congo until like people still don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people still don't know what goes on. And then it's like the perceptions of Africa that African Americans have.
Yes. It's so
jaded. And then the perceptions that Africans or people from the continent or immigrants, Black immigrants, have on African Americans is so like jaded as well. Because again, if I tell people I'm from Detroit, I'm a Black man from Detroit, and if that's all you hear, a Black man from Detroit, you think I'm a gangster, you think I'm running around, I'm rapping, I'm a gang member, I'm this. Like, no, I'm smart, I'm a business owner, I'm creative, I know what I'm doing. Like, but everybody has that stigma hanging over them, and it definitely was an unfortunate situation. But this should tell these fucking celebrities, stop using your highest moment, Grammys, Oscar, all of this to like push and to be political. I think you owe it to yourself, man, to just thank your parents, thank everybody that helped you get there. You don't have to make a political statement at that moment, because what happens with politics is shit start to flip. So everybody's saying F ICE right now, but everybody wasn't saying F ICE when the young girl Lincoln Riley and at UGA got killed by the illegal immigrant. So it's like this politics change based off of situations, right? So when Trump get out, It's not like ICE is going away.
No, it's also not like Trump invented ICE.
Exactly.
ICE has
that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if we're gonna speak out against the system, speak out against the system. It's the right wing and the left wing, and they on the same goddamn bird. And you got to figure out what you can do to help your surrounding and make your impact. But a lot of stuff, like, and then you your audience, you dividing your audience and all of this. It was a lot of that going on. But I just think, unless you're well informed, I don't think you should, I don't think Jordan should have spoke about stuff he wasn't informed. LeBron strikes me as somebody who is a bit informed on stuff, but then once he start talking a little more, then he's like, okay, he's not really that in depth. If you're gonna be an athlete or an entertainer and use your platform, I need you to be like Muhammad Ali. I need you to, you know what I'm saying? I need you to really be for the cause and really fuck around and lose your career for what you willing to do. Y'all ain't really ready for all that.
I was about to say, and I think it's one of those things where I like what you just said about understanding the system.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you don't have to speak about every single thing that happens when you understand that the undertone of most things has a root.
Yeah.
So even if he wanted to talk about like inequality, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He could have been very vague about that and said, there's a lot of people who aren't being treated fairly. And I wanted to use this moment just to acknowledge them, because I do see that, and some of them are my fans.
Yes.
But I do want to thank my mom. You know what I mean?
That's the perfect. See, you need to just go write these people's speeches. Like, what you doing right here? You got a career in Hollywood. Just write these just write these speeches. Like,
I'm just saying, there's a way to do it. If you're gonna do it, there's a way.
Yeah, like, I don't think you should. Because politics change all the time, and sometimes you can be supporting something, and now you end up on the wrong side of, like, a good example is Simone Biles. That was a great example. Did you see? Okay.
What did she do?
3-4 years ago, when Biden was in office, it was all pro-trans. People was very pro-trans. Politics, everybody was pro-trans. And then the Supreme Court started getting involved, and men and women, they start blocking men.
They're trying to figure out the women's sports.
And all of this and that. So the atmosphere of politics was either you don't say nothing or you support trans rights and transgenders playing in sports. Then once they start breaking all these women records and start doing all of this, and women start realizing, hold on, supporting this shit is actually anti-women. Because we got men that just transitioning in 6 months, and now they come in breaking all our records, winning first place, overshadowing the women that have been working for years and years. Then Simone Biles came out and spoke out against, like, in this climate. She came out and spoke out and basically said, like, y'all should leave this person alone. Trans men should be able to be, or trans women should be able to play in the sports. And then she got grilled for it. But this is one of those situations where she probably, when the bus left the ship, she probably didn't realize. She just in her own world as a multimillionaire. I think
she really meant that, though. I think she really meant
it, but then the climate tore her ass up.
Oh, and you're saying it wasn't the time to say it.
It wasn't the time to say it, but then once the climate shifts, a lot of them, I mean, a man or woman ain't beating Simone Biles. So she's not speaking for herself. She's really speaking up against the other people. A man or woman not beating her. She's the GOAT.
Let's just adds a little bit of context to this conversation. Men's gymnastics and women's gymnastics is very different. So even if a man was to transition and identify as a woman, they're likely not conditioned in the same way.
And that's why I was saying she's speaking from a place of privilege.
I was about to say, so it's not like the swimming record that got broken. That was that kind of like took everything
and all of this track records and all of these things.
It's not, so it's one of those situations where you can kind of transition and then start breaking these records if you're already conditioned as, like, you still have your male conditioning. I do remember that. I think that Simone Biles was saying what we're doing to these athletes is we're, like, not making any space for them. And that's what, and that's when it kind of got like.
That's what she, I think that's what she meant, but I don't think it was articulated
in that way.
Because I agree with that.
Yeah, it's there's no space for these athletes to be. It's kind of crazy. So I think that, in this climate though, is the hot button right now is like trans children, women in trans sports, and da da da. And it's like, y'all don't care about women and y'all don't care about kids.
I guess my point was that was a situation where a celeb tried to use their voice and thought they were supporting something.
Oh yeah.
And
but the climate
shifted, and now they looked at dumb. But 2 years ago she would have looked like a hero, but now she looked like, what the fuck are you talking about? She looked stupid. So now it's
and certain things don't age well.
It didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those situations where like you said, she should have just spoke up and articulated, we need to create a safe space for all athletes no matter what. Mm-hmm. Everybody agrees with that.
Yeah.
But when you get to saying all this other stuff and it's geared directly towards one political talking point, and that political talking point isn't as in favor now, now it's kind of, you look weird, which is why Target is getting their ass kicked, because they were so pro DEI. Now it's not DEI no more. Now y'all just get rid of everything. People like, y'all didn't really mean what y'all was saying. Exactly. Y'all was clout chasing. So now we're gonna clout chase y'all ass and cancel y'all. So that's another situation.
I agree with that.
Target should just always be for all people, and just no matter who's in office, I don't give a fuck if you attack me or not. We're a retailer for all people.
Yeah.
And we sell this, we sell that, and just keep it like that, instead of like, we're black. Come over here, black owned, and then now you're not. Like, don't do that.
But here's the thing too. I don't hate it, but you just have to mean it. Like, I don't
stand on that business when that shit come to you. Don't backtrack.
Because a lot of times when Chick-fil-A said, we're Christian, we don't work on Sunday, we don't like the gays, and we do respectability politics. Yes, ma'am. No. And they stood yes or no, waffle fries or not.
Yes, they stood on business. And you can only respect it.
And that's what I'm saying. There's a super conservative, that's what I'm saying. You can have a brand identity as far as your political brand in business is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just be about that.
Yeah, you got to be. That's why I said I like the Muhammad Ali's of the world. Yeah. I like the Kyrie's of the world. Kyrie stood on what he meant. He stood on what he said. He lost his Nike deal for it. Yeah. He's still going. He's still Kyrie. And he got a new deal, and he meant what he said. Like, that's what he meant. He stood on business. History is gonna look good at that. But the people people gonna look at
the flip floppers are never gonna.
Yeah, you're gonna always get caught in the storm because social media is not social media. One day they pro Trump, the next day they pro Biden, the next day they pro Kamala, the next day they pro this. So you just never really know where people are at. Yeah, and it's best to just state the facts.
Yeah.
We do need to help people. Like,
we do.
It is some lot of bullshit going on in this country, no matter who's in office. It's a lot of bullshit going on.
Yeah.
So we need to really speak at the core of a lot of issues, and that's the part I agree 1,000%. You said, like, speak to the root, not the branches. The branches grow and fly anywhere.
I was going to say.
Speak to the root cause.